Welcome to Apathetic Weekend Update. I'm your host, Guy, who hasn't said happy birthday to you on social media because he was trying to avoid Star Wars spoilers. Our top story tonight, presidential candidate / guy that always looks like he just had soup that was too hot, Bernie Sanders and his campaign threatened to sue the Democratic National Committee for cutting off access to his voter files, essentially endorsing presidential candidate / woman that sadistically looks like she'd served soup too hot, Hillary Clinton. Although the endorsement does make a lot of sense. Hillary is a woman, and that's a candidate you can rally everyone behind. Feminists, because she's empowering, and sexists, because we can pay her 22% less. Moving on, Netflix announced its new line of smart socks designed to power down your television when you fall asleep. In related news, Hulu also plans to release smart socks once they figure out the bug that makes them sign people up for Netflix when they fall asleep. Too smart. Appreciate that they made these hats so itchy that no one would want to wear them all year round. In saucier news, a man ate chicken parmigiana every day for a year in search of the perfect recipe. He didn't find it, but he does know eating chicken parmigiana every day for a year is an ingredient in unsuccessful marriage. This week in Houston, a man asked his girlfriend to marry him in the middle of a busy freeway, which was still safer than his backup locations, a crab fishing trawler, a Somali prison, or a trampoline made of scissors. Had their first date there. Real convenient Santa never had to deal with fog before Rudolph came along. This week in San Francisco, police saved a woman who had been stuck in her sofa bed for 12 hours. Unfortunately, without Netflix socks, she was forced to watch the entire first season of Rob Schneider's new show. According to the network execs, Apathetic Weekend Update hasn't exactly been connecting with the issues that the youth are concerned with. So, this week we are joined by our intern, Arawn, who, I am just being told, smoked a big fatty. Ah, for Christ's sake.
Hey, dude. Okay, so I am ripped as confetti right now.
Great. Well, Arawn, my producer has given me a couple topics she thinks would really resonate with the slacker demographic. So what is your take on scientists finding a 200-year-old salamander? Really? That's the story we're going with? Arawn?
No way. 200? So we were still alive when Bob Marley and Richard Gere were?
I mean, yeah. Kind of weird you only went back 30 years, but yeah.
Whoa.
Also, don't know how to tell you this, but Richard Gere is still alive.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Then how come I don't see him anymore?
Man, he's still doing movies.
What? I didn't know he did movies.
How did you... You are talking about Richard Gere, the actor, right?
I just know he used to deal the loudest weed in town.
Yeah, pretty sure.
He was cold, too.
But we should...
Dude kept my mother a Nestle factory. And he would always be like, yo, I gotta go shoot this pretty woman. I gotta go shoot this runaway bride. I gotta go shoot this Mothman.
Arawn, those are movies.
Man, they should be.
No, Arawn. Pretty Woman is the story of a hooker that Richard Gere's character falls in love with.
Yeah, I know. Then he found out she was stealing from him and he popped her in the dome. He put it in a Snapchat story.
Okay, pretty sure we're talking about a different Richard Gere now.
Yeah. Hey, is it cool if my friend plays a little doodly-doo on your show?
Guitar?
That's the one.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so the thing is...
Even more no.
Yo, that salamander thing though, right? Crazy.
Arawn the intern, everyone. This just in, Christmas cracker trinkets are still a letdown for the 400th year in a row. Moving on, Friday marked a pretty big day for star-related news, if you know what I mean. Because Congress approved a rather large budget bill for NASA. Unfortunately, attached to the bill were provisions that allowed the government excessive power and spying capabilities. Wait, now this does seem familiar. A Senate granting powers to its leader to ensure the strength of its empire against the threat of a cult-like enemy. This is totally the plot of 300, if you take certain liberties. This week, during the Republican national primary debate, presidential candidate / sad chubby Dan Aykroyd, Chris Christie, mentioned a recent conversation with King Hussein of Jordan, who has actually been dead since 1999, making it pretty clear Chris Christie's the only candidate that can talk to ghosts. And, well, I'm getting word that according to him, he's been endorsed by Reagan, Tupac, and beloved character actor Robert Loggia. On Monday, it was discovered a mother in Texas had shaved her daughter's head and told her she had cancer as part of a scam. Now, obviously, it didn't pan out, but still would have totally been worth seeing Star Wars so early. R.I.P. Daniel Fleetwood, you lucky bastard. Last weekend, a priest from New York was caught siphoning $1 million from his parish to pay for a male prostitute, putting to rest a multi-decade search for the man in the "would you suck a dick for $1 million" question. Quick life hack: want to turn your Christmas party into a holiday orgy? Just cover your whole ceiling with mistletoe. In perhaps the most interesting news this week, Pharma CEO / real-life poorly written supervillain Martin Shkreli had an interesting few days, starting with a pledge to bail rapper Bobby Shmurda out of jail, followed by being arrested for running his companies like a Ponzi scheme, much to the disappointment of Bobby Shmurda, and ending with him resigning as CEO, all in less time than it took me to watch Wolf of Wall Street. Not every movie needs to be long enough to make your back cry, Scorsese. And that's it for your Apathetic Weekend Update. If you enjoyed the video or plan to use its URL as a gag gift, please like, comment below, share, maybe even subscribe. Oh, it would make my Christmas so good if you subscribed. And yeah, I've been your host, guy who's gonna go eat a lean cuisine by the microwave. Good night. Happy non-denominational holiday celebration event. Demographic I just covered.
Hands up!